Yes, YouTube, what is going on? Welcome back to another episode of Coaching Words and Phrases. We're on episode 13, and continuing on from last week's theme, we're incorporating some goalkeeping related stuff as well. And in fact, this episode is going to be purely dedicated to, sorry, excuse the noise, cars going past, purely dedicated to goalkeepers, okay? So we've got two different coaching words and phrases. Yeah, so if you're a goalkeeper, you'll probably know exactly what these are. However, if you're not, you probably don't, but you might know. I don't want to put anyone down in terms of their lack of knowledge, etc. Anyway, I'm digressing. Two things before we get into the video. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so and click that notification bell. It does help more than you know. And secondly, if you haven't liked this video already, please do so. It does help more than you as well. Let's get into today's video. So here we're looking at something called a top hand save. Again, looking at the number one over here. So it's a goalkeeping related coaching word or phrase. Just creating a scenario for you guys. Again, it's difficult to really demonstrate exactly what this looks like on the tactics board, but we'll show you a game clip at the end. So 11's on the ball, going to take on the fullback, gets to the byline in this position here, and eventually gets across it. Now, as the ball's travelling in here, the goalkeeper's obviously going to be travelling, getting himself slightly set depending on where the ball goes in. And the fives, obviously the 9's going to look to head the ball in, but the 5 ends up clearing it. Lands to the number 4. 4 takes a positive touch into there, and this is where the strike's going to happen in goal. So now we're looking like a Philip Coutinho type strike, a whip into this top corner, and then the goalkeeper makes a top hand save and parries it out for a corner. Okay, so what that actually looks like, it's hard to explain on the tactics board, but if you look at my two hands here, if you're diving left, you would use your left hand, anything below shoulder height. And if you're diving right, anything below your shoulder, again, you'll be using your right hand. But now if you were to flip it and say you were diving anything above your shoulder height, you'll be diving in this sort of position here. So imagine your hands, all of a sudden now, your right side will be making a save on your left side because your body shape changes. I hope I've explained that well enough, but it's a top hand save. Anything above shoulder height would be a top hand save. So it really infuriates me when pundits, I'm not going to name any in particular, but they'll say, why has he gone with that hand, or why has she gone with that hand? It's because your body shape changes and therefore you've got a bigger reach with your opposite hand, but it's science behind it. So we'll show you next on the game clip what that actually looks like.
Sur la petite roulette, oh la parade de Rui Patricio, exception, la roulette, la frappe de Pogba, c'était sublime et ce n'est peut-être pas terminé. Deuxième.
He comes all the way through and a chance for the Ome, what a save! That is sensational from Edouard Mendy. David De Gea made a lot of ground to his...
Another blinding save from De Gea.
And finally on this episode, we're going to look at something called drop and drive. Again, it's goalkeeper related, and again, guys, it's going to be difficult to show you exactly what that looks like on the tactics board, so we will show you a clip at the end. So, we're going to be looking at the number 1 in the green over here. Reds are in possession. 5 plays out to the 3, so we're just going to create a scenario for you guys. 3 predominantly would probably play out to the 11 and look for the 11 to have a bit of a mazy take on the fullback. But he's recognised that the 11 hasn't had a very good game, so actually he's thinking, do you know what, I might cross a ball from a deeper position. So he looks for maybe the number 9, he's looking to peel off the number 5 in this position, crosses the ball into here, keeper comes out and collects the ball. So it's a bit of a risky type pass, keepers come out and being quite commanding. Now for this is where this sort of drop and drive happens, so everyone might retreat into these sort of positions here, so just give me a few seconds guys to get everyone back in. Okay, so something like this. We have the 7 up there and then the 2 there, okay? So goalkeepers obviously got the ball in their hands. Now what they're going to do is they're going to drop the ball out of their feet and then they're going to drive the ball. It's not going to be too much of a lofted pass. It's going to be more of a driven pass. So they're going to get some momentum, maybe come outside the area and then maybe drive one to say maybe the 11, who's maybe a tad wider. Or you might just go and hit the number 9, for example, in here. A drop and drive is when you receive the ball and then you're looking to maybe just put a bit of backspin on the ball as you're releasing it as a goalkeeper, and then you've got maybe 3-4 yards into it and driving the ball into these kind of spaces to try and find one of your teammates. You might have a dominant number 9, for example, who can really protect the ball or flick the ball on. You might have a Marouane Fellaini who's good at sort of protecting it, holding it with their chest and bringing others into play. We're going to show you a clip next.